Story 2. The Haunting Melody. Sleepovers with my two best friends, Emily and Lily, were a regular occurrence in middle school. But one particular night would forever haunt our memories, as a seemingly innocent game of truth or dare led us down a dark and chilling path. We were huddled together in Emily's basement, the dim glow of a flashlight illuminating our circle. The rain pounded against the windows, creating an eerie ambiance. Our laughter filled the air as we took turns with lighthearted dares and embarrassing truths. As the night wore on, Emily dared Lily to explore her family's dusty old attic, a place we had always found creepy. Lily accepted the challenge, and we watched her disappear into the darkness at the top of the creaky stairs. Minutes passed, and we began to grow concerned. Lily hadn't returned, and the silence in the basement was broken only by the sound of rain against the windows. Fearing something had happened, Emily and I decided to go after her. The attic was even creepier than we remembered. Dusty old furniture was covered with white sheets, and the air was thick with an unsettling stillness. We called out for Lily, but there was no response. We searched every corner of the attic, our anxiety growing with each passing second. Finally, we heard a faint, haunting melody, a mournful piano tune that seemed to emanate from the shadows. Following the eerie music, we came across a room we had never seen before. Inside was an old, ornate piano with yellowed keys. Lily sat at the piano, her fingers dancing over the keys as if compelled by an otherworldly force. Her eyes were vacant, and her expression was one of profound sadness. She played the haunting melody with an eerie expertise that sent shivers down our spines. We called out to her, but she didn't respond. It was as if she were trapped in a trance, unable to break free from the spell of the piano. We reached out to touch her, but a sudden gust of wind extinguished our flashlight, plunging us into darkness. In the pitch-black room, we felt a presence, a malevolent force that seemed to surround us. The haunting melody grew louder, filling the air with a suffocating despair. Desperation overtook us as we fumbled in the dark, trying to find Lily and escape the room. Finally, we managed to grab her and pull her away from the piano. As we fled the attic, the haunting melody continued to echo in our ears, a chilling reminder of the darkness that had ensnared our friend. To this day, Lily doesn't remember what happened in that attic, but Emily and I can never forget the terror of that night. Story 3. The Whispers in the Walls. Sleepovers with my two best friends, Emily and Lily, were a highlight of my middle school years. But one sleepover would become a chilling ordeal we could never explain, a night when we heard the whispers in the walls. We gathered in Emily's cozy living room, nestled in sleeping bags, and armed with an array of snacks and horror movies. The rain drummed against the windows as we settled in for a night of fun. As the hours passed, we found ourselves talking about the old, abandoned house at the end of Emily's street. The place had always been a source of mystery and fear in our neighborhood, and we couldn't resist the temptation to explore it. With a flashlight in hand, we set out into the rainy night, our hearts pounding with excitement and trepidation. The old house loomed before us, its dark windows like empty eyes. We crept inside, our footsteps echoing in the eerie silence. The house was in a state of disrepair, with rotting furniture and peeling wallpaper. As we ventured deeper into its gloomy interior, we couldn't help but feel a growing sense of unease. It was in the basement that we heard them, the whispers in the walls. Faint, ghostly voices seemed to emanate from the very foundation of the house, their words unintelligible, yet filled with a sense of longing and despair. We exchanged nervous glances, unsure of what to do. The whispers grew louder, as if beckoning us deeper into the basement. It was a call we couldn't resist. As we descended the creaky stairs, the whispers intensified, filling the air with an eerie chorus of voices. We reached a small, dimly lit chamber at the far end of the basement, and there we discovered a hidden door. With trembling hands, we pushed it open, revealing a hidden room filled with old books, dusty journals, and strange artifacts. The Whispers. Story. The sorority's dark secret college sorority sleepovers were supposed to be about bonding, laughter, and making lifelong memories. But the one I attended with my sorority sisters would turn into a nightmarish ordeal that still haunts my dreams. It was a chilly Friday evening when our sorority sisters gathered at a remote cabin deep in the woods. We were all excited about the idea of a weekend getaway filled with games, gossip, and shared secrets. Little did we know, some secrets should never see the light of day. The cabin, a rustic two-story structure nestled among towering pines, seemed cozy and inviting. We laughed and chatted as we unpacked our bags and settled in, with no inkling of the horrors that awaited us. As the night fell and the temperature dropped, we huddled around a crackling fireplace, sharing stories and sipping on hot cocoa. Our laughter echoed through the cabin, and the bonds of sisterhood felt stronger than ever. Around midnight, as the fire's embers faded, our sorority president, Sarah, suggested a game to make the night unforgettable, an initiation ritual she called the Veil of Shadows. She claimed it was an ancient tradition passed down through generations of our sorority. The game involved donning dark robes and masks and exploring the cabin in search of hidden items while confessing our deepest fears and secrets. Sarah promised it would strengthen our sisterhood bonds. Despite a few hesitant looks exchanged among us, we agreed to play. We donned the eerie robes and masks, our identities hidden behind the veils of darkness. As we ventured into the dimly lit cabin, the atmosphere grew heavy with an unsettling presence. It was as if the walls themselves were watching and listening, their wooden panels whispering secrets of their own, and each room we entered seemed to hold a dark secret. In the dining room, we found a table set for a feast, its plates covered in dust as if waiting for guests who would never arrive. In the living room, old photographs of sorority sisters from generations past adorned the walls, their eyes seeming to follow our every move. We continued our exploration, our voices hushed as we confessed our fears and secrets. The cabin seemed to grow colder, and the flickering candles cast eerie shadows on the walls. It was when we reached the basement that things took a sinister turn. The room was lit with flickering candles, their flames casting dancing shadows on the walls. In the center of the room stood a wooden table with strange symbols etched into its surface. Sarah produced an ancient-looking book from beneath her robe and began to chant in a language I couldn't understand. The room seemed to come alive with a malevolent energy, and the air grew thick with unease. Suddenly the candles went out, plunging us into darkness. Panic set in as we fumbled for our flashlights, but they wouldn't work. Sarah's chanting grew louder, more desperate, as if she were trying to summon something from the depths of the unknown. In the pitch-black room, we felt a presence, a malevolent force that seemed to surround us. Whispers filled the air, voices of the past, and the room echoed with the cries of those who had played the Veil of Shadows before us. Desperation overtook us as we tried to flee, but the basement seemed to have a malevolent hold on us. The walls closed in, their wooden panels reaching out like skeletal fingers to trap us. The whispers grew louder, their words filled with anger and despair. It was as if the very walls of the cabin held the secrets and suffering of generations of sorority sisters who had played the game before us. Just when we thought all hope was lost, a brilliant light filled the basement and the whispers fell silent. We stumbled out of the cabin, shaken and horrified by what we had experienced. To this day, I can't forget the horrors of that sorority sleepover.
The memory of that night haunts me, a chilling reminder that some traditions should never be revived, and some secrets should remain buried in the shadows.